Yo, today we are going to replace brake pads and rotors on 2006 to 2013 Chevy Impala. I have the V6 3.6. This is a 2015, but this will work for a 2006 3.5. So, few things we need among others: brake pads and rotors, obviously. Ceramic brake pads will be best, mid-grade, to prevent a lot of dust. A jack or something to raise your vehicle safely. A wheel block. You don't want your car to roll. You don't have to have that, but I already have that, so I'm gonna use it as an impact. This is just for the wheels. And probably ratchet and sockets for the brake caliper bolts, and the brake caliper brackets. So as far as those ratchets and sockets, I'll let you know as I go during the procedure. All right, let's go. And lights and glows. So I did not know the condition of my rotors. I decided to just replace them. It seems like somebody's been here. It's supposed to be a Torx somewhere. I don't see any. It won't matter because I test drove the car and it wasn't shaking. Well, it was shaking a little bit actually, but it's not because of that bolt. So I just decided to go brand new, so I know exactly, when I started, and then I can count from there. Okay, so first thing we want to do is come here and then remove that cup. Easily forgotten. We are going to steer the wheel in this direction on the exterior, and then we are going to remove the bottom caliper bolt. And on most vehicles it works like that unless you have a line here, but even with a line and a rubber hose, that's fine. We can just remove the bottom and then raise the brake caliper brackets this way to expose the brake pads. And then we are just going to replace the brake pads here, replace also the shims if you need to replace them, and then we are going to put it back, and then we are going to secure that bolt again. After that, we are going to look for the brake caliper bolt, which that's not, wait. Okay, that's one of them. Brake caliper bolt. I'm not sure about the size yet, so I'm just gonna have to try them before I come back to the camera. So then we are going to replace those, hang the caliper somewhere with something, maybe a bungee cord or something, just so we don't put pressure on the hose. A lot of people don't care about that. These hoses are pretty strong, but it's brake, it's safety issue, so you might as well buy a bungee cord and do that thing. Just hold it here. From that point on, when we remove those two bolts, everything will be free. We'll be able to remove the rotors and replace them if needed. Clean this area. This car has a lot of rust. I don't know where it went, but this car has rust everywhere. I bought it like that. It was a project for me, and the rust did not cause any problem whatsoever. I had communication problems. Took me about 3 months to be able to figure out exactly what was the problem, but now it's fixed. I'm about to finish the repair today. I already test drove it. No more communication problem. Everything is running fine. So that's why I decided to invest in, brakes and do stuff that the vehicle needs, because I know now I don't need an engine or a transmission anyway. That was just, a side story. Let me go ahead and remove this. So also do not forget the jack stand for extra security. So I checked, and these are 13s. So hopefully those rusty bolts will not break in the process. Increase the power. It was so weak. Just a little pull with my hands, and I was able to remove that. At least the threads are clean. The heads are very rusty. I think this car drove in there you go. That's what I was talking about. So you just raise it like that. I still had a little bit left, more here than here. I hope that is not an indicator that the caliper is having a problem. So from this point on, I'm just gonna remove these pads. I have a lot of scratch. Always look at the way they come out. Look at this tongue. This is the brake pad indicator. At one point in time, it scratches the rotors and makes a squeaking sound to let you know that you don't have too much time to work on it. So the brake indicator was on top. It was on top. The one right here, same way. Both of them are on top. So we're gonna put them the same way we removed them. We're replacing shims today. So just pull this down and pull this up, and that is good enough. And then if you have brake cleaner, spray some brake cleaner in these areas. If you have all right, it's now time to compress the brake caliper. We are going to compress it with the C-clamp, and which is the reason why we open this, because every time we are going to compress it, the brake fluid is going to go up. As you can see, the brake fluid is not at its max level, so it can go up, but it's not gonna drip out. So I already installed it, so I'm just going to compress slowly. And so it's going to compress this side more than the other one, and I'm going to change the position so I can compress this side. I cannot compress from the middle just because of this. Now the brake calipers, the brake pistons are completely compressed, and if you notice, you will find out actually it didn't go up too much, but now we are going to replace the shims and the pads. Right, so the shims are in place, top and bottom. So please do not bash me because I did not clean anything. I don't have any brake cleaner around. I did not put any anti-seize or whatever. I just made sure that this wasn't going over the edge and it wouldn't scratch the brake rotors. Same thing on this end, just right there. And so, like I said, somebody didn't put these screws. I don't think it's a big deal because I've done brake jobs where the screws were so bad that I didn't put them and it did not affect anything. So from this point on, I'm going to put the brake pads on each end and put the bracket back, secure the bolts, and then remove the caliper bracket. Caliper bracket is 15, so you're gonna have 13 for the bracket and caliper bolt 15. Remember, the brake wear indicator is gonna be on top, and this is gonna be on top also, both of them on top on each side. I make this mistake a lot, so at least you're not gonna make that mistake. So now release that. So you just raise it, it should be really smooth. And so now you secure the bolt. Just secure the bolt just like that.